Hi guys, I hope you are all well and having a wonderful summer holiday so far. I'm doing this recording today at the request of a few parents who've asked for something to help prepare their children for the back to school in September. Obviously it's a difficult time, I think, for some children anyway, but the fact that a lot of our children have been off since March makes it even more difficult, and a lot of our little ones have become accustomed to being at home with their parents and carers all the time. So I've put together a few tips to help you with the transition back to school for your children. So the first thing that I would say is, and the reason that I'm doing this at the kind of beginning of the holiday, we're about a couple of weeks in, is because some of it will take a little bit of preparation, a little bit of planning, but also at this point of the holiday, I think we're about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks until we're back to school. We don't really need to be labouring the point that we're going back to school soon, you do need to talk through the going back to school with your children, but for this part of the holiday, just relax and have fun with your children, have family time, let them see their friends if they can. So at this point, we want our children to be relaxed. If your children are experiencing anxieties, as a lot of children have done due to the lockdown, and some due to their individual needs anyway, hopefully you found some of the activities that I've done useful. So carry on with those, carry on with the emotion coaching and any of the activities that are supporting your children at this point in the holidays, but we don't need to be over labouring the point of going back to school at the moment. So I'm thinking, at the moment, if you've got a transition pack from your school, that's fantastic. If you haven't, maybe if you can find some material on the internet about your school, about the new teacher that your child is going to have, like pictures and that kind of thing, that would be useful. If you've got a hard copy photo of your teacher, the teacher that your children are going to be working with, just have that stuck on the fridge. You don't need to necessarily talk about it, but just have it there so that it's kind of in the background for your children to see every now and again, just to kind of drip into their subconscious that their teacher is waiting for them and they are going to be there for them. Like I've said, have lots of fun, do lots of relaxation, mention school casually if you're going to mention it at all. So you might say something like, I've seen a really nice lunchbox that we can get for you when you go back to school. Just little drips into conversation. When you are going to have those little mentions of school, you're kind of drip feeding it in for your children. Do it at a time where you know you have time with your child, so not before bed when you're just about to get them tucked up into bed and it's like, oh, school. So you can, when your child is relaxed, so if they're in a nice, calm, relaxed mood, you can casually mention it. Okay, and like I've said, hopefully you found the activities useful that I've put up on here and carry on with those. So I would say that's where we are at the moment in the get back to school mentality. In the final week before your children go back to school, hopefully you have been given a transition pack of some sort from school. Maybe you can get the transition pack out and say to your children, oh, let's have a little look through, let's see what's going to be happening next week. Make it very exciting. Try and go in with a positive attitude, so try to avoid bringing up the discussion with, you're going back to school next week and you go in, I don't want to hear any arguments about it. So try and be really, really positive. Let's have a look at the transition pack, let's see what you're going to be doing. If your child is triggered by that, obviously work through the steps of emotion coaching and the steps of the anger cycle if it does create a crisis for your child. Go through all of those steps and just say, we'll look at it later. So the kind of mentality that we want to take as parents and carers with this is assertive. So, you know, we are going back to school. That's kind of the thing. We are in control of it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be good, and we will do this later. So try not to waver with that. That basically the idea that they will go back to school. Try not to, I don't know, say things like, oh well, we'll see what it's like when you get there. Try and be quite firm with going back to school, yay. Okay, you might want to do some art for their new teacher in that final week. You might want to like draw a picture together, or create something for their new teacher, make it kind of exciting, something for them to take into school. Plan a first day back treat. So it might be after their first day at school, you cook them their favourite dinner. You might have a little tea party for them at home, maybe have a cake or something, or maybe they go to the park after school, or plan something that's going to be nice. Maybe you play their favourite game. Maybe they get to choose what they're having for dinner. You know your children. You know what they would like, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to cost anything. Free treats are often the best, and children really kind of just want to spend time with their parents when they're young, so that can be a treat enough for them. So yeah, make that first day back something exciting, and again, just mention it and just tell them what's going to happen in that final week. I've also been asked to do a sleep routine video, which I'm going to do today as well, and I'll upload after this one. In that final week, or depending on how well your child responds to going to bed, you might want to put this in 2 or 3 weeks before. You might want to start it now. Get the sleep routine back in for your child, leading up to going back to school, so that it's not just on the last day. Some children can handle that. Some children can handle, right, last day, early night, up for school. If you know that your child needs that routine and they need to be well rested to get back into that routine of being back at school, I would put the sleep routine back in as early as you think is necessary. I would say for that last week at least. So in that last week, they're going to bed in their routine at an early time, whatever time your child needs to go to bed, to get a proper night's sleep for them. And also I would recommend maybe 3 or 4, again depending on your child, how easily they adjust to routines, getting up early. So in the 3 days before it's time to get up for school, get them up at the time that they would be getting up for school. And obviously you're not going to get them in their uniform. You might you might feel the need to do that, and that would be fine, but get them up for something. So maybe you plan, we're going shopping at, I don't know, 9 o'clock, so we need to be up, we need to get our teeth cleaned, we need to get a wash, we need to get our breakfast, and just get them back into that faster pace basically of a morning. I know we don't really want to think about it right now, but just it's getting them back into that morning routine, so that on that first day back it's not gotta get up, gotta get ready. So yes, I would get the bedtime and getting up routine back in place in that final week at least. Okay, so the night before back to school, bedtime routine in place, uniforms ready, so everything is ready. I know I'm teaching you how to suck eggs, you do this anyway, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking it's not so much the routine, it's the fact that our children are anxious. But often when things are in place like that, it can reduce that anxiety, and hopefully if you've been working through the emotion coaching and some of the activities, that anxiety has dissipated. And if you've had a lovely holiday, a lovely 5-week holiday where your child has had lots of relaxation and fun, hopefully that's helped them to release some anxieties as well. I know it won't release them all, I get that. I know that school is a massive trigger for a lot of children, but there are some things that we can do to ease that. So yeah, bedtime routine, uniform ready, get up earlier than you need to on that first day. You will do all of this anyway, I know you will. Have a plan in place of how you're going to get to school that your child knows about. So you might have talked about that in the days leading up to going back to school. You might say, oh yeah, we're going to go and meet meet a friend maybe and walk to school together, or maybe you just walk to school together, or maybe you drive, and talk through that. So talk through the routine. So we're going to get up, we need to get our teeth cleaned, we need to have a wash, we need to have our breakfast, or whatever order you do things. You probably clean your teeth after your breakfast. And then we're going to walk to school, and we will probably see somebody along the way. So you're talking through, so in their mind they've got a narrative of what their first day back is going to look like. Those kind of things really do ease anxieties for children if they can picture in their mind what things will look like. So do that for the final week leading up to school, and you kind of build it up more and more the closer you get to school. Stay positive. So you know, just say to your children, you're going to have a lovely day, it's going to be brilliant, you're going to see your teachers again, you're going to see your friends. And again, I know that some children, they don't see that as a positive. Some children don't feel like they have any friends, and some children don't feel like school is the place for them. I know that some children feel like that, but we're going to try and make it as positive as we can for them. So you're making it all positive. You're walking to school, and when you get to school, make the goodbye as warm but as short as you can. So a hug, I love you, have a lovely day, I'll see you later for your treat, and let them go. They might cling on and they might not be able to let you go. You might give them an extra squeeze. Off you go if you can. I know things are going to be a bit different in September. Pass them to an adult. There will be a lot of children experiencing these kind of anxieties on the first day back, and your teachers are well prepared for that. But obviously I know that there are staggered start times for children, so it's kind of getting it moving. And I promise you, and I've been there as a parent myself, your children will be fine when you've gone. Prolonging that goodbye makes it really hard for a child to let go, and it kind of gives them a bit of false hope as well, that they might stay, they might take me home. Very firm. Have a lovely day. Speak to you later, darling. Bye bye. And let them go. They will be okay. Their tears will dry. And as hard as this is, I'm all about removing triggers for children until they are ready. Some things obviously we have to do, so going to school is one of them. It's a trigger that we cannot remove, unless you wanted to look at homeschooling, of course. But if not, if you are sending your children to a school, they have to go. So it's a trigger that we cannot take away, so we need to make it as positive for our children as possible. And it's true that by facing whatever it is that we fear, we become resilient. So that resilience is built through doing. So when your child goes to school, no matter how worried they are about it in the beginning, when they go and they realise, actually, I'm okay, I survived that, that's okay, that's how the resilience is built. So it's very important as parents that we encourage that. Okay, you're going to go to school, you're going to have a lovely time, bye-bye. And then we let them go, and we let them build that inner resilience, and they will be fine, and that will build and build and build until they think, actually, yeah, I can do this. Okay, so I think that is everything that I wanted to say about the easing your children back into the school routine. It is going to be different in September, I think, for a lot of children. It is going to be tricky for a lot of our youngsters as well. But if we can embed them in a bit of security, in a bit of a routine, and lots of assurance, they will be okay, and we'll get back to something like whatever our new normal is going to be. All right then, guys, I hope that's been useful, and I will catch you later. Bye bye.